Throughout history, the 10 plagues of Egypt have remained one of the most fascinating and enigmatic events recorded in ancient texts. As narrated in the Bible, these plagues were divine retributions unleashed on Egypt by God, through Moses, to compel Pharaoh to release the Israelites from bondage. For centuries, scholars and scientists alike have pondered these events, seeking natural explanations alongside the biblical narratives. The story begins with the infamous Nile turning into blood, a crippling catastrophe for a civilization so reliant on its river. Some scientists propose that this could have been a phenomenon known as a red algae bloom. Under certain conditions, these microorganisms can multiply rapidly, releasing toxins that might give the water a reddish hue and make it undrinkable. The following plague brought a deluge of frogs. Imagine the panic as frogs leaped out of the bloody Nile, swarming into homes and streets. Scientifically, this could be explained by frogs fleeing the toxic waters in search of a habitable environment. Once on land, their population would eventually die off, leading to the third plague of gnats or lice, feeding on decaying frog carcasses. Next came the swarm of flies. One theory suggests that the death of amphibians and insects led to an ecological imbalance, facilitating the mass breeding of flies. This would, in turn, lay the groundwork for the fifth plague, a pestilence on livestock. The disease could have been spread easily in unguarded conditions, wreaking havoc on animals already stressed by insect infestations. As the plagues unfolded, the human inhabitants were not spared. In the sixth plague, boils afflicted Egyptians, potentially the result of insect-borne disease vectors like flies carrying pathogens. Then, like an unstoppable tide, the seventh plague of thunder and hail pummeled the land. Some meteorologists theorize that this might have been unusual but natural weather events caused by a temporary climatic shift. With the land already devastated, the eighth plague unleashed locusts, quickly consuming remaining crops and vegetation. It's plausible that the ecological changes brought on by previous plagues created ideal breeding conditions for these voracious insects. The tragedy deepened with darkness, the ninth plague. Volcanic activity or severe sandstorms could explain the engulfing blackness, filling the air with particulate matter and blocking out sunlight. Finally, the 10th and most tragic plague struck, the death of the firstborn. Theories abound, from a naturally occurring epidemic to cultural dietary practices, yet this remains the most debated and difficult to comprehend purely through scientific lenses. While science offers potential explanations for each event, the sequence and coordination of these disasters as recorded in the biblical account suggest a narrative rich with theological significance. The plagues are a powerful demonstration of divine will, seeking not only to liberate a people but to challenge the might of an empire. In conclusion, the 10 plagues of Egypt will continue to be a compelling subject bridging the domains of faith and science. Whether viewed through the lens of divine intervention or natural occurrence, these events serve as a timeless reminder of human vulnerability in the face of nature's awe-inspiring power. The story, wrapped in mystery and wonder, endures, inviting endless exploration and interpretation.